I'm Terese.
I'm Dan.
And this is our story. We've been married since 2017, and first of all, before we get into our story, I have a pre-story. It happens to do with our cactus right here. As you can see, our cactus right now is in style, and people even seek out these cactuses. However, back in 2017, when we moved in together, this wasn't exactly on Pottery Barn's want list. So when we moved in, this literally was one of our biggest fights about where we're going to put the cactus. And of course, this guy who tells when you got this cactus.
I bought that cactus. It was about that big from IKEA.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the date, but it was a long time ago.
In his mind, this is a masterpiece. My mind, not a masterpiece. So we literally had fights about this cactus, right?
Fine.
And isn't it kind of funny that now we're sharing our story? The cactus is
still here.
So. Anyway, our stories, we have a lot of them that we could share, and there's been ups and downs just like any marriage. And the story that we're going to share today has to do with an accident.
So we were on our way down to Tampa to get our motorcycle and kind of enjoy a nice little weekend getaway. And we flew down and took an Uber to our motorcycle in storage, rode the bike to the beach, went to our favorite restaurant, checked in at our hotel. Everything was going great. And decided that we were going to go for another bike ride to an event that we had planned. And that's when that fateful moment happened.
We're turning down the one-way street, and I see a vehicle pulling out directly in front of us, and I'm thinking, why isn't the man stopping? And then I remember waking up on my back, gasping for air, looking over at my husband, who was face down, and there was blood everywhere.
I remember everything from 2 blocks before the accident till about 3 hours after the accident, when I woke up in the hospital in a trauma unit. I woke up, first thing I saw was I was in a neck brace in a gurney type thing. And I looked down at my left hand, and my thumb and my fingers were all pointing different directions, and thinking, that's not so good. And I yelled out, there's something wrong with my hand. And the doctors came over and said, oh, yeah, we're about to fix that. And I just remember taking my hand as I'm laying there and resetting all my fingers and my thumb. And just realized I had a lot of road rash, and was looking to find where my wife was, how my wife was. I know I said it over and over, where's my wife? Tell me where my wife is. And finally they did bring her into the room with me. And it's been a long recovery since that day. I spent 3 days in the trauma unit. There was onlookers that we later spoke to, that when I called him, because he had my phone and we were trying to retrieve the phone that got lost, he had it and he was at the scene, and I spoke to him via her phone, and he said, there's no way I'm talking to you, you must be a ghost, because you were dead on the site.
Right.
I was not wearing my helmet, which it's amazing and a godsend that I'm here to even tell this story.
It's a miracle that I'm not paralyzed and that my husband is alive. Throughout the whole story, there's so many God moments. I mean, that's the big one, that I'm not paralyzed and that you're alive. But there's so many little ones throughout that. We were right by the police station and I think he wasn't even on duty.
On duty, first responders.
First responder.
Yeah.
They rushed over to us. They weren't even on duty, and they ran over to help us, and they were right there. Just the people that were in the car behind us, how kind they were, and I think of a nurse, even as small as I needed a phone charger, and she found a phone charger.
Yeah.
To we were yelling across the trauma unit together, so that
trying to find each other. They finally were.
They're just put them in the same room.
Brought us together, put us in the same room.
And we got to watch the Super Bowl together.
Yeah.
Yeah. on our own TVs in a joint room. I mean, I'm kind of kidding, but there's so many God stories within this, and I actually don't think God's done with this story yet. Like, I really believe that something happened within this that we're still gonna find out. Yeah. And many lives already have been changed because of this story.